Welcome guys. Today we're going to be doing a design for our broad acres. I already created a program that I've called the travel system, where we're going to be looking at some of the content that we've got in our broad acres. So here's how it will go. I'll just give a design and thoughts of how you could have actually gone about this, because the design is going to be marked and it's going to help you map out how each element will be working, how you can put the content that you would need in a specific system or platform. So the idea is, when we're working with something like this, we want to be able to see how creative you are. We want to be able to see how you can work with very minimal requirements and how you actually design this into what you need. So for example, now I can start by cleaning up my form. So this is just the basic form that comes standard with the application. I can rename it and have it as FRM main. Okay, this becomes the main page. Okay, so for example, any other page that I would want would have it come from the main page. So this then makes it easier for you to know where you are and how you're actually planning your document. So some of the things that we would add to this, we would also need to be documenting as we proceed. So for example, we've got content that we have been told here. Excuse the English, some of the terms and some of the content was not really as correct as it should be, but at least you can pick what we need. So let's say I want to put a control here. The control that I was actually thinking is a tabbed control. So I select it and then I choose where to put it. Okay, so this is what my tabbed control looks like. I can then adjust it to suit what I think it should look like. Okay, so I think something like this looks okay. At the same time, you can notice when I put it in the properties section, we've got tab control 1. I can add or remove a tab. I've also got a collection of the pages that I can be able to play around with. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is maybe change the name of the control. So I say TBC travel. That's what I want to call it. And then at the same time, I can also go to collection, which is there, where I can be able to play around with the tab pages. This makes life easier because now I can be able to work on each page and add whatever it is that I want to do. Okay, so this page I want it to be my customer details. I also want to rename the tab itself, or the tab page itself. So it's TBP customer is what I want to name it. I go to the next one. I also name it TBP and then I call it holiday. Okay, and then I also want to change the text to be holiday details, like that. Okay, so I might need to add an extra page, but we'll see as we go along, because we're still just working on the design. We want to come up with the design and make sure that design gives us what we are hoping for. So we need to have input, and some of the inputs will be as follows. The first input would be our title, okay, which comes there. We change the label to title. Okay, the next input would be our first name. The next input will be our last name. Yeah, maybe we can leave it as that. So this becomes our name. This becomes our surname. because we know that this is standard for most people. Some might have variations, but this is pretty much the standard of what we'll face when we're actually doing our content. The next thing we want to do now is to have a contact address. So this then becomes address. Okay. From there, we want to have an email address. Okay. So maybe the next thing we'll put there is an email address. Email address. The next thing we want is a phone number. Phone number. Outside of a phone number, we would also need what else might we need? Because we need to identify the customer, and we need certain information that covers what the customer is doing. Let's just go back to what this thing says. Okay, we might need transport, food, and we need a record for the customer. So I think bottom line, more or less, we've covered everything that we want. But if we've got anything that we need to add, we'll go back and edit this text and see how this works. So for example, I can put my text box for my name. I select, I put another text box for my surname. I select, I put a text box for my email address. I put a text box for my address. Okay. For my title, I want to put a combo box so that I can put different content in it. And this content will be what I will use for my title. Then I need a text box for my phone number, which will be as follows. So I've got my phone number, I've got my name, I've got whatever. So the only new thing that is here is our title. But for our address, we need to just edit it and make it look the part or fit the part. I select at the corner there, I put a multi-line so that I can be able to increase its size, something like that. So these are some of the contents that we'll have for our customer. Okay, so still this is under design. We're still not yet done. We're just trying to work with something that will capture what we want. So in our combo box, I can select the combo box there. I go to collection. I then put Prof, Doctor, Rev, Ms, Miss, Mrs, and Mr. Okay, these are my titles that I want to be able to work with, and I think this will be exactly what I need. So what we might need to also put as part of this content is when the user is on this page, they can enter whatever it is that they want to enter. They go to the next page, they see whatever content is there, until they now need to print a receipt. Okay, so this then means whatever content is here and whatever content is there needs to eventually be put to a receipt. So on one of these pages, we'll then need to figure out how we actually put the content in our page or in how we do our design. So bottom line, at this particular stage, we've done part of our design and it's almost done. We'll take it up in the next project where we'll see how the design is supposed to come out, and we put our database information in the next lesson.